What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build a video. Today we're going to be doing a low-level contest of mayor's walkthrough for the city star. He is in Mega. Okay, we have 60 tasks remaining. This is part of setting the scene. He's level 24. He does have some experience left on his bar, as you can see in the background of the photo, which means that if he gets a regular residential upgrade that is 2,000 points or higher, he can do it if he absolutely needs to. Okay, so the next thing that you do is you do your task assessment and breakdown. That's where you go through and you say what you know about each task. You label it main or rotatable or no touch cancel, and then you label them premium or non-premium. Premium assignments are tasks that can be worth up to 3,000 points. Low-level players consider factory productions and shop productions as premium to cut down on the confusion for the rules of rotation. I am going to be putting out a rules of rotation video for low-level players. I put one out for high-level players recently. So for you low-level players, I'm trying to get that worded exactly right because I don't want there to be any confusion, and this stuff can get pretty confusing. Okay, so before we begin with his task assessment, make sure that you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And if you would like to have your week reviewed, you can submit your album. It has to be a Google photo album that's obviously shareable, right? You're going to send me the link on Facebook or in Discord, and then they have to be in order, and you have to have taken top and bottom photos, preferably a bottom photo every 3 to 4 5 at max assignments, so I don't have to flip back a whole bunch to try to figure out what was at the bottom of your list. Just because you came to the conclusion that your choices, remained with whatever was at the top of your list does not mean that that was the correct choice. The next thing is that if there's anything that I need to know that, when grading your stuff, put it in the comments section on your photos, okay? And that's pretty much it in terms of how you submit your stuff. And let's begin, shall we? So main task is a task that can be worth, that is worth 2,000 points or higher in your list. It doesn't matter if it's premium or non-premium, okay? You're going to mark it with an M. If it is below 2,000 points, that is a rotatable task. That means that you use it to open up more main tasks. No-touch cancels are usually for low-level players. Those are either a monster that is below 2,000 points or upgrades of really any value. But if they're 3,000 points or higher, then they get marked with an NT/C, which could be cancel if you absolutely need to. Usually when you cancel, it's because you need to open up that place value spot, and you need to cancel within the first 20 to 25 assignments of your week. Because if you wait, then you're not going to have enough time for it to stack up in your main list. That also goes for people who have them in the streaks. Sometimes you guys get these upgrades in the streak, and you guys don't cancel until the last minute, until you're ready to start streaks, and that means that you don't have enough time for that streak to come back in the main list. Usually I tell people to wait until they have maybe 4 or 5 of their upgrades and then cancel the streak one. This allows for a less likelihood of your second streak starting off with an upgrade. Okay, so let's begin, shall we? His task assessment, this is a main assignment because it is worth 2,000 points or higher. It is premium because it can be worth up to 3,000 points, and it is his first obvious choice. Okay, moving down the list, we have a 2,400 home design challenge. Now, there's a couple of things that I need you guys to watch for because SimCity never tells us when they change stuff. Now, you used to be able to get a submit design challenge for 2,500 and an upgrade design challenge in the same exact list. Now, for the last several weeks, I haven't seen that happen to anybody, so I don't know if they've changed it or not. If you have had both of these assignments in your list at the exact same time, please submit a screenshot to me on Facebook or on Discord. But just know that if you cancel this, you could end up with one or the other. And you may be able to use your design challenge as part of your upgrade. Okay, so it's not set in stone, but just know that that is a possibility. That being said, it is at main task value, which sucks because it's not 3,000 points. He will likely not cancel this assignment, so we're going to mark it with an NT/C just in case, but will likely not cancel because, like I said, of its value. Okay, now we have a main non-premium glass, which requires a lot of downtime. Now, he probably prepped feed, and this is 2 rounds, so he's likely going to have to put this on the back burner until later. It doesn't make sense to pick up all the feed right now and prep glass and take up all of his factory time. So what he could do, if he wanted to, is he could either wait for the time being and see if he gets a feed assignment that comes in, or he could prep 20 of the glass and then just before bedtime pick up those 20 glass. This allows him to leave those factory slots available in case he gets, let's say, seeds or minerals or something. And then before bed, when the assignment has already started, then he can go ahead and put down the remaining 40 glass. Okay, at this value, it is going to need done preferably sooner rather than later, but not during your active wartime. You know, this is a time where he needs to be moving quickly as possible. It doesn't make sense to take 10 hours worth of downtime right now. So, moving on, we have a premium donuts task. If he hasn't already prepped donuts, he can begin that prep by collecting one of the items that he did prep in his shop and placing down 1 donut. Using the yellow arrows above your shop, this allows you to cycle through and place things down without having to collect them all. If you want more tips on how to do that, you can look up the CoM prep videos. Okay, the next one is an old town building. This is a high premium. Okay, so it gets marked HP, and it is at no touch, high premium at no touch, not cancel. It's just no touch. Okay, at this value, it is at its lowest point. We would not touch it under any circumstances because it would only cause it to come back worth more points. Okay, the next one is a last resort. So we're going to mark it LR, last resort rotatable option. So you mark it with an R. For coins, it is non-premium, right? You can mark it LR or R, either way. Usually I have people mark it LR so they don't forget that it's a last resort. This is a task that you use usually about 5 assignments before streaks, and you can use it to secure some long factory productions or if you're missing an upgrade. Don't use this as a way to open up new tasks throughout the week for good opportunity because it doesn't have a good opportunity. It has a medium algorithm rate, so it usually comes back within 6 rotations, and it's not a good way to open up good opportunities for long periods of time. Okay, the repair at this value is rotatable, non-premium. At this value, we're probably not going to touch it, at least until value trumps op, which is after the streaks. Because of this value, and because of the high algorithm rate, what this means is if you do this assignment, it's just going to come right back. Maybe within 2 rotations, maybe 3, but it usually comes right back. And when it does come back, you will have lowered your average, not opened up anything better, and you'll be right back where you started, right? Okay, the next one is a War Booster for 1,000. This is a non-premium rotatable option. It is good. It is great an opportunity for high-level players. It's an excellent way to open up a high upgrade. Now, what this means for you low-level players is that if you do not have several upgrades secured in your main list, then it's probably not a good idea to rotate this just yet, as it will likely cause a high upgrade to come in. Now, it usually causes just a high task to come in general. Anytime you do a 1,000 point assignment, because it's the game's way of like trying to level you out, you know? But with this particular assignment, it usually results in a high upgrade. So like I said, try to secure as many upgrades as you can before you rotate this, if at all possible. It's also limited time. It can only be done during war. So don't allow, wartime to pass you by and you not rotate this in time. Okay, the next one is a premium rotatable VU assignment. So this one here is definitely good in opportunity, has a medium algorithm rate. It's a great way to open up, good assignments. Okay, now we have a 1,000 point monster. This is no touch. Cross it off the list. Never look at it again. Let's see. Do deliveries to London. This is a premium assignment, kind of similar to the War Booster, not quite as much of a risk for a high upgrade, but anytime, like I said, that you're rotating a 1,000 point assignment, you have the possibility, a greater chance of a 3K task coming back. And if you have, you know, all of your other premiums in your list with a low value, you've lessened those odds. Now we have a non-premium epic task, right? Now this one is a rotatable assignment. It could need done depending on how quick his upgrades come in. At this value, it would be nice if we could avoid it because, you know, he only has one map unlocked, and if he hits that downtime or that timer, and then that comes in the streaks and it causes him to fail, and it's a big mess. So if at all possible, we would try to avoid this, but we're going to still mark it with an R. So it looks like he marked this. Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about the keys. The keys at the top is a non-premium rotatable. Obviously, it would be done in the streaks. Now, if you have to choose between repair and keys, you usually go with keys because it has a higher likelihood of coming back worth 2,000 points or higher and usually stays away for longer than repair. Now, another thing is if you're trying to get that last upgrade to come in or secure a factory production, you can also rotate that repair before the streaks because, like I said, it usually comes right back, and usually streak assignments aren't worth very much. So if you can get the repair and the keys before that, then usually you can get some 2,000 point assignments in the streaks that are at least relatively easy and quick, right? But that's, like I said, that's if you don't have your upgrades and you still need to secure some long factory productions. All right. I'm not going to do this right now. Star, you watched me go through this. If you marked anything wrong, you'll know what was wrong because I just did all this here and I want to get on with the video. So, all right. This would be his first obvious choice. Now he gets an upgrade to London for 1,000. Now it's a good sign that it came in with a low value, right? But we don't want our upgrades to roll in too soon because then we're not going to have anything left to choose from. So moving down the list, we would start with the main assignments. Now, of these main assignments, we're not going to cancel the design challenge, right? We're not going to take downtime for glass right now. It's way too soon for that. So, repair is out of the question. We've got War Booster, VU, and delivery to London. Now, delivery to London has a lower algorithm rate. We haven't tried VU yet. I would go with VU. Or, sorry, I didn't even see the donuts. Yes, donuts was correct. I keep forgetting he puts his screenshots in 3 sections. Yes, donuts is correct. So, the premium donuts versus the VU, you've got a 400 point value difference. That pretty much sums that up. So you go with the donuts. Okay, now he got a regular residential for 2,400. Now you can see here that he can fit this in on his upgrade. Now, the fact that he's already had a second, he has 3 of his main tasks taken up already, and 2 of his tasks have kicked back residentials. I would absolutely do this regular residential ASAP. Okay, good. He did that. All right. Now he gets plastic for 1,710. Now this is kind of an odd choice. So he can either pick up all of the feed that he prepped and just say screw it, or and do the plastic, or he can say I'm going to let this plastic sit and I'm going to work one of the lower premium doorways. Now the reason that I would say it was a mistake if he didn't pick plastic is because I don't see those doorways getting him very far before he has to do the plastic anyways, and even if feed does come in for one round, that's not going to be very high in value, and it may be better just to have it secured in the main list. So if he did not pick plastic, it would have been a mistake. Okay, cool, he got plastic. All right, now he gets the regular residential back again. He does still have room to do it. Although it is at 1,600 points, I probably would have left it alone. It's hard to say. You know, because if he does it and it comes right back for more points, then it's just another hit against him. So at this point, given the fact that he only has a few experience left, I would probably leave it be and work my VU assignment. Okay, so he ended up taking downtime for glass. I don't know what time of day it was for him. If he had already prepped the... No, yeah, he could have already prepped the first round of glass because it's at 4 days, 23 hours. So that's fine. So here he gets the veggies for 1,800. That automatically makes this the next best choice. It is premium, 800 points value difference on that VU down at the bottom. That is his obvious next choice. Okay. Now he gets a War Disaster for 3,000. That is main premium. Now he gets a 3,000 Paris. Now he has had a lot of upgrades roll in. We're only 7 assignments in, and he's had a lot of upgrades. It doesn't make sense to cancel this yet because it just came in, right? So if we cancel this, it's probably just going to come right back. That being said, right now would be a really good time to start rotating those low premiums to see if we can get these upgrades to roll in and then get them taken care of so that we can move on without having to whittle away at our average. So hopefully he did the VU. Okay, he did the War Booster. I know why he did the War Booster, and I'm not going to count it as wrong because I think what he was trying to do was to get these upgrades to come in, and he knew that this would have a higher likelihood, and it's limited. So the reason that I would have done VU is in hopes to get that out of the way so it can start rolling in for 3,000 because it has a higher algorithm rate before I rotate the War Booster. But like I said, I'm not going to mark this wrong because it did have decent thought behind it, and you know, it's not wrong technically. I don't think that that's wrong. So here we have the 1,800 on the hammers. That's his obvious next choice. Now he gets a 1,590 on minerals. Now here, he should do the VU, even though the minerals are premium and they're 590 higher. Because of the fact, like, remember when I said I don't want to whittle away at our average if we're trying to get these upgrades to come in? We really need to get this 3,000 point upgrade canceled, taken care of, and out of the way. So we need to see how many more are going to roll in. With that VU down at the bottom, we have no way of it coming back in for more. And we really need to open up this doorway as soon as we can. If we continue to do assignments that are 1,800 and 1,700 and 1,500, we're lowering our average every step of the way and not opening up that doorway. And we really need to open up that doorway. So hopefully he did the VU. No, he did the minerals. Okay. Now he gets a 3,000 Tokyo, which is the obvious next choice. And there's the feed for 1,880. Now at this value, 2 rounds, given the fact that I'm assuming it's morning for him, it does not make sense to do this downtime. And by the time he gets to it, hopefully he will be too close to streaks to want to have to touch this. But right now, like I said, we need to get that VU opened up. I assume that's going to be his next move. Okay, now he does the VU. And he gets wood for 1,680. So here, we could go with the wood, or he can go with that delivery down at the bottom for 1,000. I would go with the wood. Just because we did get that VU opened up. We have one more premium down at the bottom, but that premium in particular does not have a super high algorithm rate. And it would be nice to see, before we rotate that premium, how this particular doorway is going to be to us. So he does the wood, and now he gets an 1,800 on cargo. Now remember what I said about not lowering our average every step of the way? Technically, if you were to just look at this list without looking at the history of the assignments, without looking at this every step of the way, it would appear as though the cargo would be the correct choice. It hasn't been done yet. It's 1,800. It's 800 points above the other one. But if you follow the whole line of these choices, it paints a different picture. And this is exactly why I need to be able to see all of your guys' choices when I give you guys CoM advice. So right now, we have a history of upgrades rolling in. That appears to have stopped, right? So we're 13 assignments in, and we have this 3,000 point task blocking good things from coming in. We also have that 2,400 upgrade, so 2 of our main tasks are taken up. And then we've got a long factory production at 1,800. So we have a lot of high value tasks, but they're not really of benefit to us. Now he could do the cargo, but that's going to knock him 200 points down on his average and not open up that doorway down at the bottom. Given the history of these assignments, the whole picture, everything that's going on, I personally would have went with the delivery to try to roll in another upgrade or to open up that doorway and figure something out so I can get this shit canceled so that I can start getting these high value tasks to come in again. Right now, what it's looking like it's just going to give him a bunch of 1,500 to 1,800 point tasks because the 2 good doorways are blocked off. And then every so often it tries to make up for the lost points and gives him a 300 point task as a fluke kind of thing. So I'm assuming he did pick cargo. Okay. Now he gets the 1,560 on those minerals again. This is exactly what I'm talking about, you guys. It's just giving him garbage. He needs to do that 1,000 point task down below. And he does the minerals. This is the second time he's done minerals for 1,560. So this was a mistake. Now he gets a launch legendary for 2,400. That becomes the next obvious choice. And remember what I said about trying to level you out? Do the math. Okay, he did an 1,800 cargo, right? He lost 200 points on his average if he's trying to get 2,000 points per task. Then he had minerals for 1,560. Okay, so that's like 440 plus the 200. So 600 on those 2 tasks. And he gets 400 points extra on this one. It's just about to, it's basically just trying to keep him afloat, right? There's that 3,000 VU that we want. That's why I would have rotated that a little sooner. And now here's that very high upgrade. Okay, so we've run into another dead end. At least it's on our bad doorway. But the problem is it's also our highest task in our list. And it's an upgrade, a high premium upgrade. Now we've got 3 of our main tasks taken up, all with upgrades. It's not a good sign. We're only 17 assignments into the week. Something has to give here. I think he had hit me up at some point for help. Here is where he rotates to London. This was correct. At least try to see if it's going to kick you another upgrade before you do a cancellation. It gave him the 3K VU, which is correct. Now he has a no-touch chems. At this value, with the algorithm rate being as high as it is, it doesn't make sense to even touch these chems. Now, at this point, if you were to do a task assessment, we have a no-touch chems, no-touch cancel Latin. We have a postponed feed assignment for 1880. We have a no-touch cancel Paris, no-touch residential, no-touch London, no-touch main task design challenge for 2,400, no-touch Old Town building. Now we have a last resort rotatable coins. We're not quite there yet. We have way too many tasks to get through. Then we have a no-touch on the rest of these assignments, pretty much. Repair is going to leave us to a dead end. Epic could open up something good, but since it's our only 800-point task, we usually always have to have an 800-point task in the list. It will likely only result in an 800-point task. At some point, after 2 or 3 rotations, it'll probably just turn right back into an 800-point task. So, that being said, we cannot work one damn doorway for the duration of the contest, and with these upgrades being what they are, they need to be canceled. This was a big mistake. That should not have been done. So, like I said with the 800-point task thing, the fact that that comes back, blah, 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 that was not a good thing. Now he gets donuts for 1,600. Again, lowering his average. He's already 1,200 points down on his average from the epic task. And now another 400 points down on his average from the donuts. So here, okay, so good. He didn't do the donuts. Here, cancels the Latin. That was correct. All right. Now he gets a 1560 on wood. Now, it sucks because it almost feels like he should have to do a double cancellation, but it's too risky to kind of see how this is going to pan out first. Donuts would be correct because it's slightly higher than the wood. Okay, so he does donuts. There's those stupid minerals. This will be the third time. So wood would be correct. Tokyo for 2,000. Okay, now there's the cargo. This has been done. This will be the second time on cargo, third time on minerals. He's working kind of this like looped doorway. This is not a good sign. Cargo would be the better of the two simply because I feel like the minerals is just leading him nowhere. And it's probably going to have to be done anyway, so we might as well clear out some of these high-valued points. Get as many points secured as we can. So he does cargo, then he gets his 2,000 VU. Okay, 2,000 launch attack and club wars, 2,000 VU, 2,400 on the epic, 2,000 Tokyo upgrade. It is at main task value, but we can't afford to cancel that. So his next workable doorway, 11 tasks before streaks, is going to be the minerals. So I assume he does minerals. Okay, now he gets plastic. Upgrade war card. Metal. It's way too late in the game to do feed, so we're not going to be doing that. So, VU. Planks. So there's the Latin for 2,400. So at least it came back worth a lower value point, but still sucks it's so high. Now we're 5 tasks before streaks. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 upgrades are in. That is good. That means that he can at least get through the streaks because he definitely needs to secure those points. Now he is missing the long factory production of sugar, text, and glass. So he has 5 tasks to secure some of those, starting with either the repair or the coins. I would start with coins first, and he went with repair first. Coins probably would have been a better route because you still have 4 tasks to go before you can go with streaks. I know he did come to me I thought he came to me at one point and asked me. Repair is good to do because it'll at least help you in the streaks. But I probably would have went with the coins first because, like I said, it has a higher likelihood of bringing in a long factory production. And then you still had at least 4 that you could have done, if not more, to secure those factory productions. So now he gets a war card upgrade. Okay. I would not do that. That would be foolish. Now, I really hope he did not do that. He does have points left on that epic, I think. I don't know how long it's been since he started that epic. But for the fact that it's 50 points, it could only cause him to fail a streak if it comes in the streak, and then he can't do it. So hopefully he went with the coins. Oh my gosh, really? Ouch. That was bad. That was not, you should not have done that. That was too risky. Okay. Caps for 1440. Yeah, I mean, you can do them. Okay. VU. 1,800 cargo. So this doorway isn't leading him to what he needs to do. He's trying to secure something, right? And it's just not giving it to him. This will be like the 3rd time he's done cargo. I would go with the coins to try to mix things up before I rotate this, if I was going to rotate this. So I definitely would have went with coins here. He went with cargo, and okay, at least the epic came back first. Do not touch it again. I really hope he doesn't. Oh my god, are you serious? Why would you do that? Oh my gosh. Wow. There's cargo again. Why? I don't understand this. I mean, this will be like the 5th time you've done this. At $10 each. I mean, ouch. That's 3 rounds. That's $30. That's 150 cash you've spent alone this week on cargo. Don't do it again. It's like your only way out of this mess. Okay. Let's see. 1500, launch attack, and well, I mean, he could do that one. That one would be better. Okay. I think the only reason he didn't do that epic is because he couldn't. And I'm telling you right now, that should not have been done. You could have really screwed yourself up big time. I don't know what your leaderboard looked like this week, but I don't see your long factory coming in here. It's just, yeah. Okay, so here it sucks because he didn't have enough assignments to do the VU. He had to start the streaks. So now he's got the repair, the coins, repair. So at least these ones are easy and rolling in for, you know, a decent amount. Coins, repair. Okay, launchers, coins, repair, delivery to London, delivery to London, delivery to Paris. Why am I getting like double screenshots? Cargo again. Jesus. That's crazy. 1920 on chairs, ladders, London. There was a lot of cash spent this week. Whoop. Cream. Paris. This was a hefty bill this week. I'm glad you won, but it was a bad week for you. Cargo again, 188. Okay, so my advice to you, Star, is when you guys, okay, pay very close attention to what I'm about to say to you. When you're looking at your list, remember earlier in the video when I said if you were to just look at this list without any previous knowledge, you would assume that this would be the correct choice? Remember that, okay? Because that will lead you to making the wrong choice more often than not. Remember when I tell you guys to go through and do your task assessments, relook at your entire list as a whole? Part of doing that is to look at the doorways and the history of your assignments. When I look through your guys' choices, the reason that I ask you guys for your album is so that I'm not just looking at your list and only your list for right this second. Because ultimately, that's only part of the puzzle, right? If I just look at what's here right now, not knowing any previous knowledge about it, I can draw the right conclusion based on no history of any assignments, no doorways, nothing like that. I don't know if you're in a loop. I don't know what you've already done or anything. That makes a huge difference the further into the contest you go. And usually when people end up in these situations, it's because they're having a hard time in general getting decent assignments. And that being said, if you're only looking at your list at first glance without looking at all of the back knowledge, you're not going to get to the right conclusion. So when it's you that's played through the week, most people don't go back through their choices and look through them and look at them as they should. They look at them from first person perspective, right? Like you're not looking at it from a bystander's point of view. What you should have done, and what a lot of you guys should do, is go through your album. Go back through your album and look at your doorways, look at the history of your assignments, look at what's going on. It's kind of like notice how when I do your guys' walkthroughs, it's almost like a story. I don't just open the book anywhere and start reading. It all fits into part of the puzzle, and it all has like how do I put this? Like, this is how your week started. Like, it can be narrated. This is how your week started off. This is what you should have been focusing on. This is what you should have been doing. This is where it led you. That kind of thing. And a lot of people, what they're doing is they're not looking at the backstory. They're not looking at what's leading them where. They're not trying to predict what's going to happen. They're not looking at, past events reoccurring and things like that. They're just looking at the page that they're on and what is the right conclusion based on that. If you would have went back through your choices and looked and been like, hey, okay, wait a minute here, and narrated it the way that I did, like, okay, I've got upgrades coming in, I need to get these canceled, I need to get these rolling in. I don't know what your thought process was, but I tried to make sense of it when I grade your list, right? Assuming that that's why you're picking what you're picking. Assuming that I was correct in my thoughts, that is what you were trying to do. Sometimes what happens is you can tell that the person's thinking about that, and then their thought just kind of drifts away. Like, they remember that they were supposed to be like canceling something or whatever, and then they get blindsided by a couple of assignments. Half a day goes by. I'm looking at all of your choices in 45 minutes. This is over several days of your time, so it's easy to let things slip your mind. Go back through your choices, look at them, follow what your week is trying to tell you. It's like a story, right? It's a story that you're trying to predict the outcome of. You're trying to arrange things in a way where you can change the ending before it happens, kind of thing. Hopefully that makes sense. For those of you guys who are in similar situations, like I said, it really helps, even if I'm not grading your week, that you guys keep screenshots for your own personal, way of going back through and everything to figure out, like, which was your good doorway, what you need to focus on, how many times you've done something, because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of cash was spent here this week, and bad choices were made. That epic came in several times. If he would have done the epic and then started streaks and got that epic, he would have ended up on a downtime and then possibly failed the streak. It doesn't take much to fail it. All that would have had to happen is him start an assignment. Imagine this. Imagine if he got like coins for 1,500, right? Then he gets an epic and he's on a 12-hour downtime. So he does the epic after 12 hours. He's 2 tasks into the streak, and he gets feed. I mean, he had feed in his list. He gets glass. It's not prepped. Even if it is prepped, that's at least another 5 hours of downtime. And now he has a very short amount of time, if any, to finish the next assignment, which, let's say, was 2 rounds of sugar. That is absolutely plausible. And the main reason that he would have failed is because he didn't secure that epic task. So you guys just don't risk it. And when it came back in the main list, he shouldn't have risked it 3 times over again. That was just crazy. Either way, he ended up in a coin repair loop, which ended up at least being beneficial to him in that regard. But that wasn't a very good score for the week, and it's a good thing that he didn't have a very hard competition. And another thing is that if you guys can avoid using your tickets, you should at least try, because you're going to run out of them. Look how many he has left. He only has 34. There's going to be weeks where he does need to use them. If he would have played better this week, he could have secured some of those tickets. Don't have your competition run too close. Try to get your streaks done early, and then use the value over op with your tickets if you absolutely need to. But like I said, if you have really hard competition, don't bother with it. All right, you guys, good luck.